Welcome everyone. Today we are privileged to host India's one of the most distinguished diplomatic leaders, Ambassador T.P. Sreenivasan sir. He is renowned for his skills in diplomacy. His impact not only stays in between the foreign affairs but also is extended in the fields of education. As the chairman of the Kerala State Higher Education Council, he has done commendable jobs in the field of education. He has championed the idea of globalizing Indian education and also laid the foundation for policy reforms. Sir, it is indeed a great honor to have you with us in today's show, sir. Swagatam. So thank you so much for joining with us today. So to begin with, we would love to explore your global perspective and understand how young people can benefit from your vast experience.
Well, my experience is, anyway, thank you for inviting me. My experience is basically in international relations and diplomacy. I'm an accidental educationist because when I came here after retirement, Mr. Ummanchandi asked me to head the Kerala Kerala State Higher Education Council. I was there for about 4 years. You must be knowing the story of
Yes, sir.
the private university. Anyway, so that is really my limited experience. But Mr. Ummanchandi told me that that's not because of that experience you had here that I have asked you to come, but to tell us how are we different from the rest of the world and how can we catch up with the rest of the world. So my answer was one sentence: liberalized education. Liberalize everything, because we have been constrained with various kinds of systems, and there has not been an overall renovation of the education system. Maybe 1980s or something. Since then, that has not been happened. But at that time, there was already the discussion on the new education policy going on at all levels. Starting with the ward level, the village level, district level, etc. And I was involved in that. So I had a clear idea of what our system was and what the problems were. First and foremost, we do not know, at least there is no understanding or even on the purpose of education. Because normally an answer would be to get a job, to find a living. Yes, but we are not planning for it at all. When you take your BSc in physics, you have no idea what you are going to be. You may take the civil service, you may go for engineering, you may go to school as a teacher, and nothing is built into the curriculum.
Yes.
You just have to pass BSc, and then suppose by mistake you took physics without knowing what it is all about, and then find in the first year that you are not suited for it. What do? You have no escape. You cannot drop out.
Yes.
So these are the kind of things which I suggested to him are things we need to do. There is nothing wrong with the system of education in a narrow sense of the term. But in a larger sense, whether you get a liberal education, whether your choices are made with knowledge, they'll all say become a doctor, become an engineer, but your talent is not tested. Your pre-degree examination, they decide whether you become an engineer or a doctor. But now, of course, there are tests, etc. But my time there was no such thing. And therefore, liberalized education is what I had suggested. And that's what he accepted. So we did various things to liberalize education. And now it has been supplemented by the Central Education Program, which the present Kerala government does not seem to approve of. And they have some narrow interests, financial interests, but they are not willing to change anything fundamental. And so there is a conflict between now the national policy and the Kerala's education policy. But that I hope with changes in governments and various compulsions, maybe there will be some, because it's a concurrent subject. Education is a concurrent subject in which this national government has a say and also the government of Kerala has a say. So national government has clarified that this policy does not mean that you must have new textbooks or saffronization. There is no such thing involved in that. It is just a scare, but at the same time Kerala government wants funding from the center. So anyway, it is a little bit confused at this moment. But at least one thing has been done, that they have agreed to establish private universities.
Private universities.
Because that is very important, because our universities are, as you may know, are very chaotic. You go to the Senate House and walk into the documents room, you will go mad. Where will I find my degree? If I want to get my degree of 1962, there is no way. You will only see rats and others. So that itself is a shocking situation. And how do you improve it? Improve facilities. It means money. And that kind of money is not there. Not even 3 or 4% of the budget is allocated to education. Even the UN standards, it is 9%. You know, children shout slogans, 9 is mine. That is the slogan. And we don't have 9, not even 4. So you need to have private sector investments in education. And once you block that, then you have no hope. You see, that's what they have been doing. And also not allowing even the cooperation that UGC has permitted for cooperation with other education institutions. Forget about foreign universities, that's a bigger exercise. That only the parliament can pass.
Yes.
There is a bill in parliament to institute foreign universities in India. But till today, that has not been passed. There are lots of vested interests. Many people in parliament have their own colleges and schools and so on. So they don't want any competition. But it's only competition which make it better. Now you have heard about Amity University or several others who have more or less the same standards as foreign universities. And they can improve because they have funding to do. Their fees may be high, but that can be compensated by scholarships, etc. So my idea is that we should have a totally liberalized education system. And this policy, new education policy, allows that. You can drop out of one course, go somewhere else, go to Gulf and do some work for 3 years, come back and your scores will be here, you know. And then if you don't want to join physics back, go and join music or art. It's all open. It's all up to us. If you drop out after 1 year, you get a certification. If you drop after 2 years, you get a degree. After 3 years, you get second is a diploma, and then third is a degree. And once that is there, there's a 4th year where you are allowed to specialize in a subject with the 3 that you have taken, or something else altogether. So total freedom of choice is what has been introduced. And of course, the system has been changed in the sense that all universities must have a comprehensive, curriculum and system. And all universities must have all subjects, and people should be able to go to a different class and so on. So that kind of liberal system does not become established in India as yet. But that is the objective I have.
Okay, I understand. Sir, കൂടുതലും foreign education ഒക്കെ support ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരാളാണല്ലോ സർ. Sir, according to your experience, international exposure or international education എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റിനെ ഗ്ലോബൽ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവും റെസ്പോൺസിബിളും ആക്കി മാറ്റാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നത്, ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്?
The best way is to go abroad and understand what it is. So I'm not against any kind of concept of a brain drain. I say there's a brain overflow. We have enough brain here. So even if half of our graduates go abroad to study, we will not lose anything, and they will come back. You can take an Indian out of India, but you cannot take India out of an Indian. So they will send their money home. Their children will probably study here, and eventually they want to build a little house in Jawaharnagar and live here. This is the dream all of them have. So we are not losing them forever. Certainly a percentage will not come back. But we'll benefit from it, and the students will benefit because they will go there with the idea of what profession they will get, what kind of placement you get. Placement is a big issue in India.
In India, yes.
Because they do not invest. The industry does not invest in education. Okay, they come and as a great generosity, they will recruit the best and go away without having invested in it. But in the United States, it's very different. A company will come to you. A major company will come to you, and we want these kind of graduates. The qualifications they tell you,
they have a list,
and then they pay for it. So most universities run like that. You will say Johnson & Johnson Library or something like that. All these facilities are provided by the public sector or industry. And that industry academia cooperation has begun in a small way. Some people go for internship and so on.
Okay.
But the teachers must go to the industries and see what their children are now doing. And did they have anything connection with what they were teaching them in the engineering college? Which is not true. Because the engineering college students don't use any equipment or tools. While the diploma holders use their hands. So diploma holders get better jobs than degree holders here in Kerala now. So what we need to do is to integrate the two.
Okay.
So I tried to establish some kind of a course for engineering graduates to be able to do work by hand in a machinery or an equipment factory. But nobody applied. We said you take 1 year course in practical training and we'll give you a minimum of 25,000 rupees salary, we'll assure you. Still, not even one applied here because they said you are trying to turn us, we are graduates, turn us into diploma holders.
Okay.
So we were quite surprised. Somebody from Karnataka applied, nobody else. And all these people who had closed their engineering colleges were willing to contribute. You know, we even painted them in one color and various things we did. And we had an association with an employing company. They guaranteed the jobs after just 1 year. But people, we have this class distinction and therefore they do not believe that they can go and do work in a factory with their hands. So that is the other very important thing. So people going out, I am not against it. Even if a large number of people go from here, we do not lose, we only gain. But at the same time, if your education system is good, then they will not go. If you don't want them to go, improve your education system and give them jobs. So they are caught in the middle. So those who can afford go, all of them don't do too well. But those who do well get maybe 100% more salary than what you could get here. You can get permanent residence in certain countries. You can get a professional job and you can always come back. So there is nothing lost in that process.
Okay. So nowadays abroad students usually face problems like homesickness or finding problem with the accommodation and all. In a situation, what help can an embassy or consulate provide the students, like practical support and the students?
Immigration പുതിയതല്ലല്ലോ. എത്രയോ വർഷങ്ങളായിട്ട് ഇന്ത്യക്കാർ രാജ്യം പുറത്തോട്ട് പോകുന്നു, പുറത്തുനിന്ന് ആളുകളോട് വരുന്നു, അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിസ്റ്റമാണ് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. അമേരിക്കയിൽ 60-ൽ ലിബറലൈസ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ, വിസ ലിബറലൈസ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരും അമേരിക്കയിൽ പോകാൻ തുടങ്ങി. അതിപ്പോൾ ഒരു അമേരിക്കൻ ഡ്രീമായി മാറി. ഇഫ് യു ഗെറ്റ് an admission in a university in the United States, you take your examination, you get some scholarship, and then they give you a job. You won't get a visa immediately. This is what the H-1B visa you must have heard about.
Yes, sir.
And also practical training for 1 or 2 years. So after you are graduated, you can enter any company which suits your qualifications, and they get a 2 years visa to continue their studies. And then only they have to apply for H-1B visa. അപ്പം രണ്ടും കഴിഞ്ഞൊരു 3 വർഷമെങ്കിലും പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് സിറ്റിസൺ ആവുകയോ അല്ലാതാവുകയോ ചെയ്യാൻ തീരുമാനിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. പക്ഷേ ട്രംപ് ഹാസ് ക്രിയേറ്റഡ് എ പ്രോബ്ലം. He opposed H-1B visa. Now he says H-1B visa is good because he himself was on a visa of that kind. But the party, the MAGA group, is not supporting. So അപ്പോൾ ഇതിനിപ്പോൾ റെസ്ട്രിക്ഷൻ ഇപ്പോൾ ഇമ്പോസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് മാറ്റാൻ ട്രംപിന് തന്നെ കഴിയുന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ളൊരു സിറ്റുവേഷനാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് the American dream has faded a little bit. Because people call me and ask, എനിക്കിപ്പോൾ അഡ്മിഷൻ കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട് കൊളംബിയ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ. Any time I would say go. Getting Columbia University admission with scholarship is heaven.
Yes.
But they're asking a question, but after that what? Because if you don't get an H-1B visa, 75,000 H-1B visas are used by Indians. Indians use the maximum number of H-1B among the foreigners. അപ്പോൾ അവരൊക്കെ സിറ്റിസൺഷിപ്പായി പിച്ചായി ആയാലും all these 48 heads of major companies, they're all Indians who are on H-1B visas. So that is a problem now, but I think if we improve our educational system, then fewer people will go, number one. Secondly, even if they go, it is no loss to us because it's a brain overflow rather than a brain drain.
Okay, I understand, sir. So nowadays international relations or global development അങ്ങനത്തെ ഫീൽഡ്സിൽ പോകാനാണ് കൂടുതലും യങ്സ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്. സോ അങ്ങനെ എയിം ചെയ്യുന്ന സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന് അവരുടെ അക്കാഡമിക്സിലും പ്രൊഫഷണൽ ജേർണിയിലും ഏതൊക്കെ ഏരിയാസിലാണ് ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, ഓർ വാട്ട് ആർ ദ പ്രിക്കോഷൻസ് ഓർ ദ നെസസറി സ്റ്റെപ്സ് എ സ്റ്റുഡൻറ് ഷുഡ് ടേക്ക് ഇൻ ഓർഡർ ടു അച്ചീവ് ദാറ്റ് ഡ്രീം?
No, international relations in the general sense is not what they are looking for.
Okay.
Because suppose you have a degree in international relations, you can probably join the UN or some NGOs. Nothing more than that.
Okay.
So those who go abroad are not, they go abroad because the international relations are important. But when they say go there, they will choose courses which are professionally oriented. Then only they will continue there. So international relations പഠിക്കാനല്ല പോകുന്നത്. അത് നമുക്കിവിടെ BA ഒക്കെ പഠിക്കാമല്ലോ. അതുപോലെയുള്ള യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റീസിലും പഠിക്കാം. പക്ഷേ അതൊരു ലിമിറ്റഡ് എംപ്ലോയ്മെൻറ്റ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റിയേ ഉള്ളൂ.
Okay.
You can join the foreign service or join the UN or join some NGOs operating abroad. These are the only, that's very limited.
They have.
But those who go to the United States, they may go on a scholarship for international relations. പക്ഷേ അവിടെ ഫ്രീഡം ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് they quickly switch over to the best job, the best paid job. അവിടെ payment is based on the intensity or the difficulty of the job.
Okay.
Here it is not like that. The man who breaks the stone gets the least. Okay.
Yes.
His supervisor gets more. Another supervisor gets even more. And the supervisor, the IAS guy in an air-conditioned room, gets the most.
Yes.
It's wrong, isn't it? It should be the other way around. So a friend of mine who went to the United States, he didn't have a scholarship. And so he went around inquiring what job gives you the maximum salary, so that he can finance his education and also live in the United States. Do you know what it was? Stitching up dead bodies after post-mortem in a hospital.
Oh, God.
That is where you get the money. Don't show that face. And this guy not only passed there, then he came back here and took the foreign service examination and became an ambassador. But 1 year he was stitching dead bodies so he could maintain a family there. So the most difficult, the president is not the most highest paid person in the US. It is higher technology people who, Musk is now drawing what, $1 billion salary. so the president can't even dream of that. So this is what Gandhiji had originally said, that it should be based on professions. But that we didn't accept. We accepted the British system. You get graduate degrees, then see what happens to you. So a thorough reorientation is necessary. And now Trump has forced it in such a way that many people are reluctant to go to the US. പക്ഷേ മറ്റു രാജ്യങ്ങൾ ഓപ്പൺ ഔട്ട് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പം Germany, for example. Germany is cheaper. Only thing is you have to learn German
language.
That is why ഇവിടെ ഈ റോഡ് മുഴുവനും German classes.
German classes are
𝐶𝐤 സെന്ററും അതുപോലെ രാപകൽ they are learning. From 12-year-old to 70-year-olds are learning German. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഓരോ രാജ്യങ്ങളും തുറന്നു വരും. കാനഡ കുറച്ച് വിഷമം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഇന്ത്യ കാനഡ റിലേഷൻസിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പം ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് റിസോൾവ്ഡ്, സോ പീപ്പിൾ ക്യാൻ ഗോ. സോ ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ റിലേഷൻസ് വിൽ അഫക്റ്റ് യു ഇൻ ദിസ് സെൻസ്. ലൈക്ക് യുക്രൈൻ വാർ കെയിം, അപ്പോഴാണ് എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായത് 20,000 മലയാളീസ് വെർ സ്റ്റഡിങ് ഇൻ യുക്രൈൻ. വി നെവർ ഹേർഡ് ഓഫ് ദാറ്റ്. സോ നമ്മൾ യുദ്ധത്തിന് പോകുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ 20,000 മലയാളികളെ കൊണ്ടുവരുമോ എന്നുള്ളതായിരുന്നു നമ്മുടെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഡിലമ ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ. ആൻഡ് ദേ മാനേജ്ഡ് ഇറ്റ്. അതുപോലെ ഓരോ രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ട്രബിൾ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ വി ഡിസ്കവർ there are Indians there are Malayalis there, and our immediate instinct is to bring them back. And then they come back and cry to go back. That's what they do here. So these are all the dilemmas we have. But real solution is have good institutions here, and that unless you have private, and I don't know why Kerala is reluctant about private institutions, because the whole education system, all the schools, colleges, everything is NSS, SNDP, Christian Society, University.
Seriously.
Government pays very little money. Then why are we so surprised of private enterprise? I don't understand that. So anyway, slowly they are adjusting themselves to it. Because Narayana Murthy had done a study on private investment in education. He said at least 50% of all investment should be private, otherwise Indian system cannot improve. After that, these several universities have now come up.
Okay.
And they're all doing very well.
Okay, sir. ഒരു ഫോറിൻ കൺട്രിയിൽ പോയി പഠിക്കുന്ന ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റിന് വേണ്ടുന്ന ബേസിക് എന്താ പറയുക സേഫ്റ്റി പ്രിക്കോഷൻസും സ്റ്റെപ്സൊക്കെ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് എടുക്കേണ്ടതെന്ന് പറയാമോ?
Basically, if you read your passport fully, nobody reads that. There's several pages at the end of it.
Okay.
It guarantees a certain freedom and also freedom for you to be in that country, because their nationals get that benefit from us also. So passport itself is a guarantee of your security and your continuing there on the visa that you got. So between the passport and visa, you are secure. Okay. But that's not enough. Problems arise one after the other. I've been in many embassies, like Moscow, for example. A large number of Indian students were there. There are all kinds of problems. They come to the embassy straight away. And then we intervene. Even in the Gulf, you will find many of them, have no visas. So in all these cases now, in the Gulf, most of our embassies are welfare offices. They even have accommodation for people to stay for a few days. There is also local Indian associations which help. So once you are abroad, you are a more important Indian citizen than you are in India. Here, if you have a problem, you go to the police or the others, but you don't go to the government as such. But here, the embassy's role is to give as many facilities as possible if they are in trouble.
Okay, I understand.
Then communities also, all the Indian communities also have facilities for accommodation, etc., for emergencies,
okay. So students sometimes feel very anxious when they don't receive immediate responses from embassies. Anganathe oru situation lo, what are the necessary escalation steps that a student should take?
No, visa is not determined by any other aspect except their own rules and regulations. So as long as you follow your own rule, their rules and regulations, there should be no problem. But like the situation in Canada was that suddenly they started refusing housing to Indian students. They thought there would be trouble, ഇവരെങ്കിലും ഇട്ടിട്ട് പോകും എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇതിപ്പം സെറ്റിൽ ചെയ്തല്ലോ, normalized relations ആയി. ഗൾഫിലാണെങ്കിൽ we have very good cooperation from the local governments. Soviet Union കാലത്ത് പണ്ടത്തെ ഈ Lumumba University, you must have heard of.
I've heard of.
Anybody with a letter from KPS Menon will get a medical admission there. Because Men for Foreigners, Drushba, Friendship University, in the name of Mr. Patrice Lumumba. So how many people who are very highly respectable surgeons and doctors in the US educated in Moscow? You get that basic degree, then you go to United States and pass an examination. And they are become super specialists. They studied everything in Russian. That has not mattered. So global situation keeps changing. Now global order is also changing. Panda, bipolar world. America on the one side, Soviet Union on the other.
On the other side.
Other Soviet Union collapse, it became a unipolar world. We are all completely dependent on the United States. And now it has become a multipolar world. But who are the other poles? We don't know. We used to imagine that will be apart from US, China, then European Union, then Japan, Korea, India, of course. So these were 6 poles we identified. And these countries, other countries will work around that pole. That was the system we expected after the Cold War, after the Soviet Union closed. And it was moving in that direction. Then there became multi-alignments. BRICS, for example, group of countries together. For some particular reason, they joined together. അതുപോലെ SCO, യൂറോപ്യൻ കൺട്രീസിൽ ഈസ്റ്റ് യൂറോപ്പിലെ രാജ്യങ്ങൾക്ക് അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഒരു സിസ്റ്റം ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യുകയായിരുന്നു. But now Trump has completely upstaged it. Because he doesn't believe in a kind of multipolar world. And he also doesn't believe in multilateralism. The UN he thinks is unnecessary. Any day he would get out of the UN or close it down. Because he says what he told them, I was there, he was saying that, why are you all sitting here? You go and work in your own countries. I'm working for my country. You go and work there. What are you doing here? You have nothing to offer to you. And that is his philosophy. And his speech, you must have noticed. He delivered a funeral speech for the UN.
UN.
He says, there's no earthquake. He said, two things I got while I came up the UN stairs. He says, the escalator failed. And when I came to the hall, the teleprompter failed. He says, why do you need an United Nations which cannot even fit your... And then he says, you make a lot of trouble about climate change. He says, climate change is a scam. There's nothing called global warming. This is what he's saying. You know, some scientists got together and created this scare. And why are you wasting your time on this? He is not even going to the conference of parties to the climate change accords. So now, therefore, from a multipolar world we are again going into a unipolar system. And people have to either join or create other systems. But then these wars came. Russia became totally, distracted. They cannot build a pole for themselves or anything. They have to somehow get out of this war. And similarly, Israel, Palestine, those issues are also aggravated. So what the new world order will be, we do not know. I am saying this because the students who go abroad should be aware of what is happening. And that awareness is there. Already people are not going to the US as much as they used to. About 34% drop in students going to US last year.
Two nations in the diplomatic relationship strengthen ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഈ സ്റ്റുഡൻറ് മൊബിലിറ്റിയും ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ സ്റ്റഡീസും അതൊക്കെ എത്രമാത്രം സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, അതിനെക്കുറിച്ചൊന്ന് സാറിൻ്റെ തോട്ട്സ് ഒന്ന് പറയാം.
അത് വളരെ സക്സസ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഏരിയ ആണത്. കാരണം അമേരിക്കയിൽ പോയി സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് പഠിക്കാൻ പോയി അവിടെ ചെന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ അവർക്ക് പോളിറ്റിക്സ് ഒന്നുമില്ല. They have to work in the system. And therefore you will find more South Asia organizations in America than India or anywhere else in South Asia. Because Indians and Pakistanis and Bangladesh all feel that they are all treated equally by United States. There is no particular affection for India or for Bangladesh or anything. They are all South Asians or Asians, and there are some regulations. So the more they remain united. So I used to get invited to do a lot of South Asian organizations. My son was the president of South Asia Journalists Association. And the more, how shall we say, conservative people will say, why should we have a South Asia Journalists Association? We must have an Indian association, Nepal association. But people, once you go there, our attitude maru. We are the Americans, we are ourselves, we have to work with them, deal with them, find the best opportunities for them. So remain united. So you will find most of these so-called South Asian organizations, India and Pakistan are very active and they work together. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ നമ്മുടെ bilateral relations improve ചെയ്യുന്നതിനും external education will help. Apart from the fact that our own relation with the US is improves also. But then now we hear, I don't know if you heard this, now there is a certain prejudice against the Indians. Karanam they are growing, there is a certain about envy. 48 biggest companies are, led by Indians. Then the temples are growing all over the place. They are building up a Murugan who is taller than Statue of Liberty. So these kind of things have started creating some amount of friction between them. But this was not there when I was there, for example. There the university students led the way whenever there was any problem. When we had the nuclear tests, United States, our relations with the US went down even further than what it is today. Today we are at least talking to them. After the nuclear tests, അവർ നമ്മളോട് സംസാരിക്കാറില്ല കുറേ 2 മാസത്തോളം. പിന്നെ 2 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് റിലേഷൻസ് നോർമലൈസ് ചെയ്തത്. പക്ഷേ ഇപ്പോഴും എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ദേ ആർ ഓൾ വെരി ക്വയറ്റ്. ട്രംപ് ചെയ്യുന്ന H-1B വിസയിലൊന്നും ഇന്ത്യക്കാരൊന്നും ശബ്ദം പുറപ്പെടുവിക്കുന്നില്ല. They are afraid that something else may come. They can be just thrown out. Even if you are citizens, now people who are American citizens feel comfortable. But what can prevent them from cancelling those visas or denationalize? They're talking about it. But people have to remain united. But they are very scared of unity now. Particularly mayor election. ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് ലോകചരിത്രത്തിൽ ന്യൂയോർക്കിൽ ഒരു മുസ്ലിം മേയർ, ഒരു സൗത്ത് ഏഷ്യൻ മേയർ, a leftist mayor. It's all created, it's like an earthquake in New York. That also has created some of these things. So these chaps are occupying all these big positions. And even in the administration, there are people like Kash Patel or so many Indian Americans are taking positions. Earlier at that time, when all this manufacturing was shifted to India, outsourcing was there, previously. They used to come here and set up things and then take profits back or products back. അങ്ങനെ സിസ്റ്റം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതിപ്പോൾ മാറി. എന്നിട്ട് ക്ലിൻറ്റൻ്റെ കാലത്ത്, അതിന് മുമ്പ് ഒബാമയുടെ കാലത്തൊക്കെ ദാറ്റ് വാസ് വെരി സ്ട്രോങ്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഓവർസീസ് അവർ പോകുന്നില്ല. നമ്മളും മാനുഫാക്ചറിങ് ഇന്ത്യ, മേക്ക് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ ഒക്കെ തുടങ്ങി. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ വരുന്ന ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെൻറ്റ്സ് എല്ലാം കമ്പനി ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെൻറ്റ്സ് ആണ്. ആൻഡ് ദേ വിൽ നീഡ് പീപ്പിൾ ഹു ആർ trained in America, so they have good scope of education here. So bilateral relations, it helps. There is, for example, in the US Congress, there is an India caucus. So US Congress, India caucus member aanengil automatically you will vote for Indian causes. Okay, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇന്ത്യ then we hire lobbies. We pay huge sums to former senators, congressmen, etc. to lobby for us in the parliament and the Congress, etc. So these are all improve the bilateral relations. But this particular moment we are going through a crisis because of this lack of clarity in Mr. Trump's own thinking.
Okay, totally understand, sir. ഇന്നത്തെ കറൻറ്റ് സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ ജോബ്, വിസ, സ്റ്റഡീസ് ഒക്കെ ഒരുമിച്ച് ഒരു ബെസ്റ്റ് കോംബോ ആയിട്ട് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സാറിൻ്റെ ഒപ്പീനിയനിൽ ഏതായിരിക്കും ബെസ്റ്റ് ഫോറിൻ കൺട്രി ഫോർ എൻ ഇന്ത്യൻ സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റ്?
No, foreign countries, there are many countries who want Indian students.
Okay.
Canada was one of them. They used to do it before all these big agencies came. Now you know who the big agencies are. And I often am invited to flag off 4,000 people to Canada, etc. So after that, the countries concerned are not taking any interest in Indians going there. They used to publicize British Council and so on. Now they don't do it because they have enough Indians going to that country. And so the responsibility has shifted to us. We have to provide bank loans, etc. for people to go.
Yes.
And also visa considerations and so on. So much of service made available to facilitate their going. And there is also some controversy about that. Why are you sending them away? But the answer is that you must have a better education system, otherwise they'll go, whether you give them money or not. So that problem we are going through. But at the same time, there will be no dramatic drop. And everybody thinks that, Trump will not be there all the time. So maybe another 3 years, we somehow brave it out. Maybe a different president.
I totally understand, sir. So now let's come back to Kerala. Sir, പണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നല്ലോ, ലൈക്ക് കേരളത്തിലെ പോളിസി മാത്രം മാറ്റിയാൽ പോരാ, ആൾക്ക് ലൈക്ക് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് കൂടി ചേഞ്ച് വേണമെന്നുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ സാറിനൊന്ന് പറയാമോ, ലൈക്ക് ഈ മലയാളി മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റിൽ എംബ്രേസ് ചെയ്യാനും അബാൻഡൻ ചെയ്യാനുള്ളതായിട്ടുള്ള ക്വാളിറ്റീസ് എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് എന്നൊന്ന് പറയാമോ?
ഇല്ല, അത് ആർക്കും അങ്ങനെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു മലയാളിയുടെ ട്രേറ്റ് ഒന്നും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ എടുത്തു പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അല്ല, ഇന്ത്യക്കാരുകൾ പൊതുവെ ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്യാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ളവരാണ്. ദേ ആർ വില്ലിങ് ടു ടേക്ക് ചാൻസസ് എക്സെട്ര. സോ ബട്ട് മലയാളി മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് എന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് അവർ ലാക്ക് ഓഫ് what shall we say, generalized education and liberal education. So you go into narrow sectors and we do not, like for example, if you are a scientist like Dr. 𝐾𝐢𝐩𝐥𝐨𝐚𝐻, he wanted to do a PhD in music. They refused. Kerala University said you can only do PhD in the subject that you have studied.
Okay.
But then he won the case. And now he is one with a degree in information technology, PhD, and music in information technology. And that is the kind of expansion that we need.
Okay.
And ability to adjust ourselves to this. Then we have some kind of, what shall we say, internalization. English പഠിക്കാൻ വലിയ താല്പര്യമില്ല അവർക്ക്. അത് adequate അല്ല ഇപ്പോൾ. ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് മീഡിയം സ്കൂളിൽ കുട്ടികൾ പോകുന്നു, പക്ഷേ അവർക്ക് പുറത്ത് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പഠിക്കാനുള്ള ചാൻസ് ഇല്ല. ഇപ്പോൾ കോളേജിൽ പോയാൽ മലയാളത്തിലെല്ലാം പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലം ഉണ്ടാവും. സിവിൽ സർവീസിൽ അത് കൂടുതൽ കുട്ടികൾ കയറാത്തത് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൻ്റെ ഇനാഡിക്വസിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ആരെങ്കിലും എന്നോട് ചോദിക്കുകയാണ് സിവിൽ സർവീസ് പഠിക്കാൻ ഡൽഹി പോകുന്നത് നല്ലതാണോ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ ആണെന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയും. കാരണം നോട്ട് ബിക്കോസ് യു ഗെറ്റ് ബെറ്റർ ടീച്ചിങ് ദെയർ, ബട്ട് ബിക്കോസ് യു വിൽ ലേൺ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്. യു ഹാവ് നോ ചോയ്സ്. ഹിയർ അമ്മയോട് പോയി ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? നിങ്ങൾ അത് അമ്മയാണോ ചോദിക്കില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് ആ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് എഡ്യൂക്കേഷനിൽ നമ്മൾ കൂടുതൽ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് കൊടുക്കണം. പിന്നെ we have the courage and strength to go abroad a lot. പണ്ട് മുതലേ ആളുകൾ പല രാജ്യങ്ങളിലും പോയി താമസിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ അത് നമുക്കുണ്ട് അക്സെപ്റ്റബിലിറ്റി. അതില്ലാന്ന് നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ വിശ്വസിച്ച് പേടിച്ചൊക്കെ ഇരിക്കുന്ന കാലം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പോൾ അതൊക്കെ മാറി. ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ ട്രംപ് വന്നതുകൊണ്ടുള്ള ഒരു പ്രശ്നമേ ഉള്ളൂ കാര്യത്തിൽ.
മനസ്സിലായി സാർ. സോ ഡിപ്ലോമാറ്റ്സ് പൊതുവേ വിത്ത് അറ്റ്മോസ്റ്റ് പ്രിസിഷൻ, പിന്നെ എന്താ പറയുക, ലൈക്ക് പേഷ്യൻസും കൾച്ചറൽ അവയർനെസ് ഒക്കെ മൈൻഡിൽ വെച്ചിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കാനാണല്ലോ ട്രെയിൻ ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പം ഇതിൽ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഈ സ്കിൽസൊക്കെ അക്വയർ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇതിൽ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഏത് സ്കില്ലാണ് ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റിന് അബ്രോഡിൽ പോയിട്ട് ഫേസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന മിസ്അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡിങ്സും ഗ്ലോബൽ പെർസെപ്ഷനെ കുറിച്ചൊക്കെ കുറച്ചുകൂടി ഒരു ക്ലാരിറ്റിയും അതൊക്കെ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നതായിട്ടുള്ളത്? അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച്
അമേരിക്കയിലെ സിസ്റ്റം ഞാൻ കണ്ടുള്ളത്, ആര് സ്റ്റുഡൻ്റ് ആയാലും ഒരു ഒഫീഷ്യൽ ആയാലും ഹൂവർ ഗോസ് ടു ഇന്ത്യ ഫോർ ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം അവർക്കൊരു ഓറിയൻറ്റേഷൻ കൊടുക്കും. വിശേഷിച്ച് എംബസീസിനെ വിളിച്ച്, ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഓഫ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയലിസ്റ്റ് ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു ഇന്ത്യ, ദേ വിൽ ഇൻവൈറ്റ് മീ ടു ഗോ ആൻഡ് മീറ്റ് ദം ഇൻ ദെയർ ഫാക്ടറി ഓർ ഓഫീസ് ആൻഡ് ഗിവ് ദം ബേസിക് നോളജ് അബൌട്ട് ഇന്ത്യ. But they have false notions, how India reacts to various things. Somebody asked me in Kerala, if they do this, is it yes or no? I said, I don't do it. I say yes or no. But they have been told, you must know what he means. So that kind of training they are given. And when we go there, we find what wrong things they are telling about them, about India. That they are very conservative. If you go near the temple, they'll throw stones at you. These are the kinds of things that they are taught.
Okay.
Then we go and rectify it. All of us are invited to various universities, etc., companies, and we try to rectify. But some of these impressions about India persist. The caste system. There is a caste system here, except in employment. Nobody asks you what is your caste before you go into a restaurant.
No.
But they believe in all that, as though there is an apartheid here, etc. So it is they who have to be educated, and when our people go there, they naturally grow with that. But fundamentally, good education is what we have to give, and with English knowledge.
Okay. Sir, from your years abroad, what are some common mistakes or assumptions people tend to make, and how can students avoid them?
Well, most often the problem is financing.
Okay.
The average salary is very high in the United States. But if you don't have a work permit, nobody will give you those jobs. So you will go and have to do other work, working in a restaurant, etc. Even that, they are not given full freedom. Okay. You can say, do 6 hours a week, 7 hours. Now they have reduced it again. So unless you have that facility, it is difficult for you to continue there, unless you are relatives or somebody else. So that should be ensured before you go, accommodation and financing. And financing, there are methods there also. You can get loans and so on, but you have to make sure that the scholarship may be available, and that has to be worked out. Some system or the other persists, but don't just go there thinking that okay, everything will be all right, and then you will be surprised. Nobody will rent you a room. All kinds of problems may arise. അതുകൊണ്ട് a thorough orientation should be given here.
Okay.
That these agencies do. These agencies do give them, and even the tourists are now given some kind of orientation. And language is very important. If you are going to Germany, no point going there without German. English is, UK is okay, US is okay, but still we are not adequate. But you have to learn. It's hard settling down.
Okay.
Now, as far as the embassies are concerned, we have full mandate to help Indian nationals. But the trouble is, they don't even come to the embassy. They are supposed to register. Not even 50% of Indians register in the embassy. Because I was kind of afraid. Why should I tell them that I'm here?
Okay.
They may come running if there is a problem. But not even 50% of the migrants sign up with the embassy for fear that something may be known about their past. They may have come away as refugees. The easiest way is to say that you are being badly treated in your own country, so I need to go as a refugee. And many countries do not refuse if you apply for refugee status. And many of the rich Indians there now are people who came with a refugee status to the United States. Now they are very great patriots. But they don't know, if I look at their passport, I can know that whether he came as a refugee or not.
or not.
That is very secretly indicated there. But then we don't treat them differently. They're all millionaires now and very
Living a
helpful
happy
to
life.
India. We are
Okay. So before concluding, വിദേശത്ത് പോയി പഠിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് അവരുടെ കംഫർട്ട് സോണിൽ നിന്ന് സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ടേക്ക് കെയർ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള പ്രിക്കോഷൻസും സ്റ്റെപ്സും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ സാറിനൊന്ന് വിവരിക്കാമോ, ലൈക്ക് ജസ്റ്റ് ആസ് എ ഫൈനൽ മെസ്സേജ് ടു ദം?
No, adaptability is part of Indian culture. We have open minds. We are, when you go abroad at least, we are very tolerant of foreign habits and so on. So there's no problem as such. But, and if you look at the statistics, not many children have come away. Almost all of them have lived there for 3 or 4 years, completed their education. Maybe they come back after that. But the largest percentage of these people who go either settle down there or come back because of personal reasons. So there is nothing very fundamental to be changed. Indians generally and Malayalis particularly are very adaptable. And they can also live away from families. Keralites have that kind of capacity. They are able to live in Gulf for 12 years, the wife and family are here. It doesn't make a big problem for them. But other Indians have that difficulty, even our security guards, whose families are not brought, they keep on complaining. Everybody else has the family, how come we? But our Malayali security guards have no problem.
I totally understand.
So it comes naturally, it's not, but the regulations abroad and opportunities abroad must be studied thoroughly before you go.
Okay.
Okay?
So it's been an honor to listen to your insights, sir. Sir, time കണ്ടെത്തി നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ ടൈം സ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്തതിലും സാറിൻ്റെ വാല്യുബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തതിനൊക്കെ വി ആർ റിയലി താങ്ക്ഫുൾ. ആൻഡ് ഐ സീരിയസ്ലി ബിലീവ് ഈ ഒരു കോൺവെർസേഷൻ ഇനി വരുന്ന യങ്സ്റ്റേഴ്സിനെയും അബ്രോഡ് പോയി പഠിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന സ്റ്റുഡൻസിനെയൊക്കെ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് മോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്യട്ടെ. ആൻഡ് അവർക്കൊരു എന്താ പറയുക, ഒരു പാത്ത് പേവ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് തന്നെ ഞാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for having us here and spending your valuable time with us. Thank you.
This is the way I spend my time. Most of the time I'm talking to people about education, about employment opportunities.
But giving us a slot in this tight schedule means a lot to us, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that you asked me to do that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.